anticipation.
It's gotta be good.
If I get thrown out, I'll go live with my mom.
Mama, get off the mother.
Welcome to the Real Estate and Chill podcast, the newest and coolest podcast. So tune in. Two experts discussing the real estate market. Loan officer James Chudley and associate real estate broker Kevin Iglesias. Beware, this is not another boring podcast. This right here is the shit you need to hear. Respectfully.
Welcome back to the newest episode of the Real Estate and Chill podcast. I'm your host, James Chowdhury from United Mortgage, here with
Kevin Iglesias, associate broker. Today in the building, we got the man himself, Mr. Free Game, founder, host of Strictly Free Game podcast. It's your boy, Shawn Waller. Let's give him a hand.
Appreciate it, fellas. Appreciate it. I am, should I give the whole spiel?
Go ahead.
I am Shawn Waller, also known as Shawn Your Realtor. No matter what you call me, just make sure you call me. That's usually that's the pitch. Yeah, man, it's a pleasure to be here. It's been a long time, man. It's been a long time in the making.
It's long overdue.
Yes, sir.
Let the audience know how long you've been in the business, who you are, what you do, what company you at.
I've been in business around 7 years. Company Signature Premier Properties. A little bit of everything, man. I'm everywhere. I'm moving and shaking and doing my thing. Strictly Free Game is the podcast that I just came out with, launched January 2021. Yeah, man, that's it.
Make sure you
go to the
like,
page, subscribe.
There you go.
All that good stuff. Notifications, comments, thumbs up, no thumbs down. We don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yo, thumbs downs hurt, bro.
That hurt.
It hurts.
Yeah, I might have to,
I don't even know who does it.
Make a phone call. You know what I mean? I have to come after you.
But yo, honestly, it's crazy how we're both in the podcast space, and even before we even met in person, first time I met you was at the charity basketball game.
That's the first time we met.
Yeah. And then but before then, we didn't even we've never met or anything like that. But we always support each other.
Always.
And that's the biggest thing. Always supporting other people. They support you back, creating relationships. That's how it should be done. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. And I was like, yo, these dudes are genuine as hell. They never. You guys just shout me out. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. We never even met face to face. It's dope.
What made you start the podcast?
I started the podcast for a few reasons. I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. I started doing the videos maybe 3 months prior to starting the podcast. And I was just like, yo, it's a space for me. I don't see anybody that looks like me, talks like me, that's doing a podcast, especially, out on Long Island. I was like, let's go for it. Let's do it. See if my personality seeps through.
Yeah, you put your own style, your own twist to it. Like I said, I love it.
I appreciate it, man. I
love it. That's why we always shout it out and show much, love. But, let the people know, what made you get into real estate? Because I know the story. We watched the videos, but let all people know.
Well, real estate, man, it was always, I went to college for maybe a semester.
Yeah, me too.
It felt like it was high school all over again. I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I started watching my student loan debt going up, and I was like, nah, what do I really want to do? I want to make some money. I want to get into a business where I can actually help people. I Googled, what industries can you get in that can make you some money over, $100,000 back then was what I thought. And it was real estate was the first one that came up. A little HGTV too. I ain't even going front. I think everyone watches a little HGTV and think they could do it that way, and that's how I jumped in.
What did you do before real estate?
Before real estate, I was working for Sleepy's, the mattress company.
Really?
I don't even know if you guys remember Sleepy's.
Nah, I know Sleepy's.
I know Sleepy's. I know Sleepy's.
You know Sleepy's? I was the routing manager, so when you saw the trucks on the road, I was the guy that was routing the trucks.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot of trucks.
It's a lot of trucks. I hate it. I was miserable doing it. Miserable. It was a stressing job. They got around anymore. So
good paying stressing job though, no?
Nah, I mean the pay was I was in my early 20s. The pay was good. I was still living at home,
So what made you go from full time to you know what? Let me dive into real estate.
So when I dove right into real estate, that's when my mother passed away.
Oh,
so it was I appreciate it. So it's weird because like I said, I only went to college for that one semester, right? But I had a course. I remember it was a business class. In the class, one of our assignments was to write your obituary. And my mother just passed away. So it was just weird, how it happened. It was we want you to write your own obituary out. Have you ever tried? I mean, you probably haven't, but at that point, I had nothing to put in the obituary. You know what I mean? There was I had nothing going on for myself. And it was an eye opener. I was like, yo, you know what? I'm quitting this job and I'm just going to dive into real estate. Yeah.
Damn, that's deep.
That is deep. Yo,
I'm not trying to make it a sad moment, though.
No. I mean, but still.
But that's real life stuff.
Yeah.
It's not sad. It's just real life stuff.
And it's crazy. It was that first semester that was the first assignment that they gave us.
I had an experience similar to that assignment where I was asked a question. It was like, what is your greatest accomplishment? What is the best thing you've done? And I was like,
crickets.
What have I done?
That's
I
like,
was like,
I like to call it like when life slaps you in the face.
Facts.
I've had that. Like, so I used to live with my mother too. And I was in the basement apartment and stuff. So I had the whole, it was like, I don't know, probably like 1,000 square feet, but it's your own.
yours,
yeah. So it's like a 2-bedroom, I'm chilling. It wasn't in the best location, but I was like, all right, it's still my little space. And then things changed and like, nah, you gotta move back to your room that you was in high school. I was like, yo, that's like life slapped me in the face. So I'm sitting there sleeping on the mattress on the floor, like, damn, I gotta do something different, man. That's when like my gear started to turn a lot more, and I was like, I gotta get busy in real estate and get myself the heck up out of here, because it's like an eye opener. Like, damn, I'm like, what have I accomplished? What have I done? You know what I mean? It's crazy.
I had nothing to put on that paper.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know that feeling. I know that feeling.
damn. I mean, like, honestly, I feel like everyone, like, sometimes people, well, one of my good friends, like Robbie, we were talking one day and we were just like, yo, everyone has like that one life experience that just like defines like what comes. It could be a bad experience. It could be like, something that's happened to them. And it's just like, I've had that. I've had that experience. I never actually spoken about it to anybody. Like, nobody even knows about it. But like, I've had a moment like that too, where it's just like, you hit rock bottom. Like, I've hit rock bottom before. And like going up from there, like, it wasn't easy, but it's just like, yo, you need to, like those tattoos everyone gets, like, it's kind of like, you got to like point back the arrow before it shoots. Like, the further
never
you
heard of
back,
that. Yeah, I never heard of that. Never
Really?
seen that.
Well, I mean, yo.
You're on your own.
But yo, think about it like this. It's true though, because you have to pull back an arrow for it to move forward.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like, yo, sometimes we go through obstacles in life, but then like, we overcome them. And like sometimes like, yo, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And like, I hit rock bottom, happened for a reason. And then maybe if I didn't hit that point, I wouldn't be here, what I'm doing right now. So
Your rock bottom moment can change your life for the better. That's free game.
That was the first part of my rock bottom. So when I went to real estate full time, I crashed. I went to a brokerage, didn't teach me anything. So, when you're not making any money, this is all commission. You're not making any money. It's like first week goes by. So, and if you're used to having a paycheck every 2 weeks, every week, every 2 weeks, and you start working and nothing is happening, so now you start to panic. So I didn't know what the hell to do. And I remember I had to go back. So my mother passed away. I had to move out of the house. Got an apartment, and no money was coming in. So I had to leave that apartment. So as I'm packing up a truck, because one of my good friends actually worked at Sleepy's, he owned a trucking business, and he saw me packing up this truck, and I had to sell furniture because I was broke, man. Like, when people say the bottom, I'm that level that was, like, right below it. Like, that's a fact.
It's crazy.
And my boy's watching me sell my furniture, and he's like, yo, Shawn, where you going? Like, I'm helping you move everything, but what's the plan? And I had no plan, man. Like, I was one step away from sleeping in my car.
Damn.
Yeah, and he helped me out. He's like, yo, I have a room in one of his rental properties. You could rent the room. You could rent the room. And it was in Queens. So, in Queens, how you have walk-up attics?
Yeah.
I was literally in the attic, you know what I'm saying, of the house.
Wow.
So in the summer, it's 100 degrees outside, it's 120 in there.
Yeah.
In the winter, when it's freezing outside, it's even colder in there. So rock bottom, man, I was there, bro.
So free game. What made you want to start that podcast? And let me give as much free game as possible.
Because I didn't see anyone that was giving it from the kind of perspective that I was giving it to the community that I'm trying to reach. You know what I mean? No one taught me this stuff coming up. You know what I'm saying? It was never in the textbook for me. I literally didn't know how to write a check until I was like 30-something years old. And I felt like it was a need for it. I felt like there's definitely a crowd out there that was looking for the type of content that I was going to put out. So that's why I decided to do it. And there was, this business, you have to market yourself. So I would go into a room and no one would know who I was in that room. And I was like, I got to change that. Especially if I want to grow my business, I need people to start recognizing who I am. That's
huge because people don't realize like how much power a platform has. It just opens up so many doors.
Yeah. So many people are looking for a voice, and I'm like, you have your voice.
You create
your
it.
own lane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that separates, people who are just want to do something but don't put the initiative to people who are actually like, hustlers and like, all right, instead of waiting for the opportunity, I'm just going to create the opportunity. And that's what we did here. So shout out to EPM.
EPM, what up?
Mike. All right. But how'd you, I know Lou basically, put us together, but how'd you hear of us? Like,
Dude, Lou, man, it's crazy because Lou was telling me, he's like, yo, you gotta meet James and Kevin. These dudes are mad dope, blah, blah, blah. And
shout out to Lou.
Shout out to Lou.
Lou's always with the alley-oops. Lou's dope. And I remember it was in the summer. I think my second daughter was just born, and you guys all went live on Instagram. You know, I go on the lives and sometimes I'll chime in, and I chimed in on the live, and Lou was like, "Yo, my man Shawn is in here. We got to get Shawn on." I'm like, "What?" I got, you know, what I mean? I'm not prepared, but I'm like, I'm not gonna miss the opportunity either. So I threw the baby to my wife. Hold her.
Baby flying.
My bad, Jordan, but Daddy got to go handle it. And I hopped on the IG live, man, and that's how it started.
I remember that too. That was a good IG live too. It was like
was.
you, me, Carlos, Kevin, and Lou.
And
right?
Lou, yeah.
Or I don't know if Carlos was in there at that point.
Nah,
I think
Carlos,
he
I
was.
think was.
I think Carlos was on
Yeah,
there.
Carlos was on there.
Yeah. I think all of them was on there, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So what was one of the worst things like you went through agent-wise? So I was like, yo, because I think we all been in that space where it's like, I don't know if I really want to do this.
Yo, but also on top of that, like when that was happening, right? Like you were 2 weeks in and you didn't have any deals, like whatever closing or anything like that. Like what was going through your mind? Like what got you past that point where it was just like, all right, I haven't had I don't have anything right now. A lot of people quit after that point. Like what kept you in the game after that point where you were working hard and you didn't see results yet?
I had no other choice. I mean, my game plan was, what the hell am I going to do with the rest of my life? Like I could always go back to Sleepy's and sit behind the desk 8 hours a day and be absolutely miserable, or I could figure out a way to get some type of traction in what I'm doing. It took a while. Like it didn't just bounce from there. So the story is long. I don't want to get too deep into it, but I had to get a part-time job at a hardware store. And they would offer me full-time hours, but I was like, I don't want to do full-time hours because I don't want to get stuck here. You know what I'm saying? But I was barely paying the rent for the room, and I had a car note at the same time. So sometimes it was either Shawn, you pay for the car note or you eat. And it was a few times that I didn't eat at night. You know what I'm saying? But it took a little while, and like I said, I don't want to get too deep into the weeds because I don't want to take up all your podcasts, but I forget the question, but that's usually that's how it starts.
No,
like,
that was a question.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Like, I mean, honestly, like that's pretty amazing. Like sometimes people like just want to just coast through life and just like whatever comes by, they just go with it. Some people want to dominate it, you know. Some people want to take advantage of the opportunities that they have and, you know, work hard like towards whatever. Like, you know, it doesn't matter who the person is, like, or where they come from. You know, there are people that are loaded and like their kids, like they don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
lack
there's some
of motivation,
people,
man. Lack of motivation.
And it's like people, you know, like you who, you know, were struggling and just made it to where you are right now. There's a difference in like, I don't know. Do you think that that's something that people are born with or something that people like pick up throughout their life?
I think it could go either way. I think you can have situations that actually bring it out. I think you're born with it. Let's put it like that. I think you're born with it, and you just need the right situation or the wrong situation to put that fire in you. That's what I think when it comes to it.
I mean, that's the main thing. When I'm training somebody, it's like there's two things I can't teach you: hustle and hunger. Because if you don't want to hustle, you're gonna go hungry.
You're gonna go hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're not hungry, you're not gonna hustle.
Yo,
So-
no disrespect. I'm not putting any names out there, but you know, there was a period of my life where, you know, somebody who I cared about, you know, a friend of mine, like I really wanted to see him win, and like it just wasn't there, and it was just like I really want to see you win. I'm giving you my all, like I'm trying to do it, and then I came to the point where I realized it's just like you can't want something more for somebody than they want it for themselves.
I think we've
You
all
can't
kind
do
of
that.
been there. I think it's either friend, family member. I think we've all experienced something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to know when enough is enough, and you know, you gotta let it go.
It's tough because like you don't want to do that, but it's just like no matter how hard you try, you might not get anything out of it. You know what I mean? Like not for you, but like you might not accomplish your goal of helping them.
Yeah.
So it's tough to see, but like you know that's just like something that I just realized like I can't push somebody to want to do something more than they want to do it. But you know,
Mr. Free Game, what are 3 things you can give us, agent-wise, that people should be doing
As an agent,
as an agent?
you should be promoting yourself. That's number
Promoting
one.
social media?
Social media, any way you can to get your name out there, to get your face out there. That's numero uno. You have to invest in yourself. So whatever you're doing, invest it all. I haven't spent money on myself yet in 2 years since I started doing all my social media stuff. I put everything back into it.
Everything
Literally.
back to the business.
Everything back into the business. I haven't given myself anything yet. If I buy a pair of sneakers, it's like, Shawn, do you really need these sneakers? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I try to treat myself to some little things just to, you know, but other than that, yeah, I invest everything back into it and don't let your past determine your future. You know what I mean? That's really what I could give you. Don't give yourself that excuse.
Two more
more?
things. Yeah.
2 more, man.
Yo,
Two
we put him-
more.
Shawn on the spot a
Mr.
lot
Free
today.
Game.
2 more. Get yourself in a room. I'm in a room. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it all boils down to me putting myself out there. Like, if I never put myself out there, I wouldn't be in this room right now. If I never hopped on that live, I wouldn't be in this room right now. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be the smartest person in the room, and you shouldn't be the only person in the room. And it took me a long time to realize you should not be the only person in the room. I'm the type of person that if I want to figure it out, I still have that, my wife will tell you, I still have that little bit in me, but I realize that you have to get yourself around people that's doing it at the level that you want to get to, and that's going to push you to get to that level as well.
That's $1 million game.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, like, I couldn't agree more. Like the thing is, like, you have to really, like, go with the people who are like, yeah. So basically, like, I'm on a team, and it's just like I'm not by myself. And like what you just said, I was a little speechless before because I was like just like putting it all together, and it's just like I've done that without realizing it, but like it's 100% true. Like people who are like doing what I want to do, surrounding myself with people like that, because like have you guys ever heard the quote like you are who you like the 5 people you hang out with most? Like I think that's 100% true.
Yeah.
So I totally agree.
Número 3.
Yo, he gave us like 4, but I still want one more.
Oh, that was
That was 2. That was 2.
Oh man, one more.
How to do more business out in the field?
How to do more business?
Game?
Grind. You gotta grind. I mean, it's as cliche as it sounds. You gotta grind. Like get off your ass and get to it. You know what I mean? If you got to figure out what motivates you as far as like some people are killing it with cold calling, some people killing it with door knocking, some people social media, some people just want to just network their way through it. You got to figure out how you're going to get in how you fit in.
I'm realizing a lot of things as you say them.
I feel like this is like a life opener for you because you're just sitting back pondering so deeply.
Because like
this whole time
you're
you're just
saying
staring in
things.
the
I'm just like
sky,
thinking I'm just thinking of what you're saying, and I'm just like putting people behind what you're saying, and it's just like, it's just like connecting because I like didn't realize that that's how people like actually do it. Because I like to do like a little bit of all of it. Like I used to cold call, like I network with as many people as possible. Like I don't door knock or anything like that, but like what I mean, like it's like you kind of like see like who's who. Like you're a cold caller, like not a cold call door knocker. Like you you like to move. You know what I mean? So like I don't know. I'm just like putting 2 and 2 together, like as you're saying it. But like, yo, Shawn's Mr. Free Game, bro. I'm learning all the time.
I think you have to though. You have to do a little bit of everything in this business to see what works for you.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm the same thing with you. But the thing with me is like I don't like to sit still. Like I want money coming in from all avenues. Whether it's like cold calling, door knocking. I never did. We were talking about this before. I never did Zillow leads, but somebody on my team wanted Zillow leads because it was, they worked for them at their past brokerage. So I was like, all right, I'm going to invest in Zillow leads, and it's working right now.
I did Zillow years ago, and I bombed at it. And to the point where I was like, I have 1 month left on this contract. I just want the phone to stop ringing. Like, because it was just like horrible leads. I think I paid for it like 2 or 3 times, and I only closed 1 deal off of Zillow. But some people I know that kill Zillow.
I guess it depends on, like, I mean, I don't know, like.
But this is a long time ago too, though.
Like when I started doing like Zillow leads, like before, I didn't do it over the pandemic, like with anybody. But before that, like I was working with some Zillow leads and stuff, and like I thought it was good. I mean, not really like my main thing, you know what I mean? But I like created like lead gen for myself in other ways that I thought were better. Okay. The only complaint I have about Zillow is like, obviously we're having an open conversation. It's just like, yo, like if somebody goes on Zillow, they're clicking on like a bunch of different things. So it's like, it's not the strength of like a referral. You know what I mean? Like it's not the same thing. So it's like, they could be shopping with like a million different people, like, and it's just like, there might not be any loyalty there, which is like something I value a lot, because if I'm going to spend a lot of time with a client, like I would want them to have that loyalty to me. That's the only thing, like that's like the main thing that I don't like about it. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see how things go.
Real estate is a dog-eat-dog world, though. I mean, it's very cutthroat.
Yeah.
Like, and buyers in this market are not willing to wait. Like, if you're not going to give them your time, they're going to another agent. Or they're going to a listing agent.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame them to a certain extent because, you never know what someone's living situation is and why they're looking to purchase a home. Some people could, I need a house now. And if you can't service them the way that they think that they should be serviced, of course they're gonna leave. If you can't give them that value that they think that they need from you, they're gonna go the other way.
Especially right now, like it's crazy.
Right.
Like I have people like calling me, like letting me know, like I have my what do you call it, lease agreement ending this point. I need to buy something before then. And I'm like, we're like 2 months out, like we're 3 months out. It's like you have to find something like now. Then like that means you have to be out there looking right now and get an offer accepted. Yeah. We all know how this market is. Like you can't really count anything before it happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, and another free game for the agents out there. Don't count your check before you cash it.
Oh man.
Yeah. Kevin has a nice story
I've
on
been
that
there.
one too.
I heard your Rolex story.
Try to look the part and it just went completely wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean you can't because nothing is ever guaranteed. I'm never excited until we're at the closing table, and they slide that commission check. Like,
Same here.
We made it happen. But
Same here. Anything can happen.
I'm a week away from closing one deal, and it's like it's all crumbling down and falling apart and looking shaky. I'm like, damn. See, this is why I don't get excited.
Same here.
Yeah.
What are your goals for 2022?
Well, you put a lot of pressure on me for 2020. Kev put a lot of pressure on me. So, I think I'm gonna start the team. I think I'm gonna get to that.
You're gonna start.
I'm going to start the team. I'm going to start the team.
You gotta step out of your shell and do things. It's time.
Yeah. I mean, people hit me all the time for mentorship. Like I get a lot of DMs. People ask me questions.
That's the one thing that a lot of agents don't realize, that you can make money off mentorship as well.
Yeah.
So there's so many avenues on making money in real estate. It's the best, but you got to put in the time.
And that's another reason why I loved it. There's no ceiling. Like there's
no cap.
Literally no cap.
No cap.
Yeah.
And there's no cap to that statement.
This guy. We're gonna cut that.
Yo, I'm supposed to be like the person who makes these jokes, but I suck at making jokes, so it's okay. Still get the laughs at least. But honestly, I know we said this before, but I think that right now, if you're a new agent who's looking to get into real estate, have a mentor, have a team. There's no reason for you not to at this point.
I didn't have that when I came. I don't know. Did you have that when you came in? You had like a mentor?
No, but then again, like I was trying to work with somebody who had the experience because I figured, you know what, that's an easier route. Because if this person failed, they're gonna tell me what not to do so I don't fail.
Yeah.
But you said it yourself as well. I was getting robbed. I was getting leads taken from me.
Yeah.
Listings were going up behind my back that I had. It was just crazy. Yeah. It was just very cutthroat. Then I realized, like, all right, it's different. You know what I mean? Like, it's a shark infested tank out there. You know, everybody's out for themselves. But that made me realize, all right, look, this is what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing. And when I start a team, I'm not going to be doing this because it's crazy.
Because you don't want anybody doing that to you. And even for agents that's like bouncing from brokerage to brokerage to brokerage, you have to
see, that's crazy.
Like,
because I don't think it's the brokerage. I think it's that person.
It really is. It's the person.
Yeah.
Like, no matter where you go, if you're not working, you're not working. You know what I'm saying? If you're not putting in that effort, the brokerage, what could they really give you? Nobody's giving you leads anymore. It's nobody walking in the front door.
It's your business for a reason because it's your business.
It's your business. We all want to be entrepreneurs. We all want to start a business when we go into real estate, but we never want to do the work that an entrepreneur
I'm glad
does.
you brought that up because a lot of agents go to different brokerages, to teams, expecting things like instant gratification. Like, all right, I'm going to eat off of this, but it's not like that. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the work.
Yeah.
But I've never been the type of person just like to jump from one position to another position. It doesn't make sense. Plus, when you go to an office, like a broker, let's say you had a brokerage and I came to you. You basically tell me everything that I'm going to get, and it's like, if I like it, I sign up. So how many times did I go to a different office? Like, yeah, I like that too. Let me sign up. I like this better. Let me sign up. Like, it just doesn't make sense. There's something that's like you're not doing that's not working.
I've had agents hit me up that's like pretty green in the business, and they were like, oh, yeah, I switched from this brokerage to this one because of the split. And I'm like, all right, how many deals have you done? One. What is the split, man? How did the split make a difference? You know what I mean?
It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. So what should somebody who's looking to join a team, like, you know, when they're meeting with different brokerages and they're like, whatever, seeing what place fits them, what should they be looking for?
Training. Training is number
key. Because how you going to close any deals if you ain't getting trained?
Bro, when I went to my first brokerage, they didn't even teach me how to put a sales agreement together.
See, that's one thing.
Literally didn't even teach me how to put a sales agreement together.
So I'm at my second brokerage. The first one, same thing. They didn't teach me anything. They were just like,
here's a desk, here's a phone, and that was
Yeah, they're like, oh, go to the webinar. Like, I don't learn that way.
me either.
So I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. The person that was helping me out was switching anyway.
Okay.
She's like, I know this other company. She told me to split. As soon as she told me to split, it's like, yo, I'm out. I'm out of here. There's no transaction fees, no royalty fees, no. I'm out. I'm gone. Because I'm a numbers guy. Like, it has to make
it
sense.
has to make sense. Yeah.
In this business, you gotta, and that's another thing with brokerages. You gotta figure out the system that you want to play. You want to work smarter, not harder.
Not harder. And it's never about the name. Like, who cares what the name is?
Because it's you. You could look at Tom Brady. How many teams has he been on? It's about him.
It's about Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying? It doesn't matter. You can get that flashy, shiny object all the time, and it's not going to do anything for you.
I could open up ABC Realty
I know
next
people
door.
have small brokerages that kill.
Yeah.
Kill. It doesn't matter what the name is on the outside of the building. You're
Yeah.
not putting in the work.
I saw this analogy, so one of my buddies, he was getting into real estate a few years back, and he was asking me, he was like, oh, what brokerage do I work for? I was like, find out what's best for you. I was like, think about it like this, I just consider brokerages like a belt. There's different types of belt. They all do the same job.
Yeah.
That's just all it is. They just have a different brand on it, but they do the same job. So it's yeah. I mean, that's what I told him. But all right, that was one. What's
Advice
two?
is interview with a couple of teams, mentors,
That's number two.
brokers, because then that's when you'll know, and everything has to be in writing. If you're starting a team, and because then this is the contract, this is what we agreed to, this is what the terms are. Because I've had people that's another thing.
Just freestyling it.
Well, not freestyling, but this is what we agreed to. I know you off the strength. This is what we're gonna do, and then when it comes time to get the check, it's like, yo, you ain't telling me that. I was like, yes, I did. What do you mean? So it's it's crazy.
I've heard stories.
Money
of,
changes everything. Every
yeah,
relationship,
100%.
Every relationship.
whether it's real estate or in real life, it changes everything.
I've heard a story of somebody I know who got kind of screwed over because it wasn't in writing. It's you don't know who you can trust. You can't just meet somebody if you can instantly trust them or not. You know what I mean? So it's when it comes time to that, things can get messy.
Yeah, it's a business. It's
a
a
business.
business. You should have it in writing.
But that's
Yeah.
another thing that people get confused. They don't realize it's a business.
Yeah,
But
not
everyone-
everything's fun and games.
But we get into it because we say we want a business. We don't want to work for anyone. I want to be a business. But you don't treat it like a business at all.
Yeah, it's our own business, our own entities. That's what it is. Because
There's nobody waking you up in the morning yo, you gotta go to work. Oh, yo, you gotta lead gen. Yo, you gotta make these appointments. Nah, it
Yo,
literally
but
all depends on you.
Yeah.
think about it. Think about what we do and a business owner does. There's a lot of similarities. So we treat it as a business. Take care of it as it's your own business, not that you have a job.
And how
'cause it's not
lucky
a
you that
job.
your overhead is not that high.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
and that's the crazy
You don't
part.
have
It's
a
so
storefront. You
cheap
don't
to
have-
get into real estate.
Yeah, you don't have nothing that you really have to. You just have to work. You just have to go out there and get it in.
Perfect example. I got a listing recently, right? Which was a referral because of my wife, because they knew I was in the business. Met with them. They loved me. Listed the house. Got them 20,000 over asking. Still on the market now. We haven't gotten into contract. But she's like, you know what? My mom wants to sell her house too. It's two deals in one that I didn't have to pay for. I didn't really have to work for because my wife really basically gave me the alley-oop.
That's what's up. She got a sister? I'm joking,
Yo,
babe.
yo.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
We're going to use this clip as blackmail. Shawn, I want $1 million by Sunday.
Oh, man.
But think about it. We have marketing costs. We have so many different expenses, but you have to pay certain things to get something else.
That's
you gotta
another
pay
thing
things.
is ROI, right? You got to make sure you're making the return on your investment. And if you're spending too much money on marketing or too much money, you're not seeing it back. But that's normal in new businesses.
That's normal
But if
yeah.
you're 3-4 years in and you're breaking even or you're still in red, it's yo, I don't know. You got to do something different.
Yeah.
That's what people don't really talk about though, because it's you have expenses. You have to pay
You have
splits.
expenses.
It's not free.
Nah.
It's
And you should spend. And on the flip side, you should spend in. You got to invest in the business at the same time. I know
Yeah.
some, they rather buy the expensive car and pay a crazy car note instead of putting it back into the business.
what is that car gonna do for you? Is that gonna get you more
It
deals?
makes
I mean,
you
it
look good.
might, but I think the other other options you have could be better for your money. But I mean, speaking of ROI, but think about how much we can invest into our businesses, how much that return comes. Because I've been trading in the stock market for some years now, and it's just 100% return on an option call. That's really good. How much return are you getting on the leads that you spend money on or something like that? You're getting a lot of money from that.
I'm glad you brought this up because when I was in the business, I was in the same position you were in. I had little to no money to get started. And I was like, what's the quickest way that I can start and build my business foundation with little to no money? Expireds for semi-owners. Expireds because I'm not paying for them. Those are listings that other brokers couldn't sell. I'm just going after them. For semi-owners, they're already on Zillow or for semi-owner.com or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, they're already trying
it's
to
already
sell.
there.
Yeah.
You just have to convince them, like, the value in you instead of pitching them. I think that's
that costs
the main
nothing.
zero.
Yeah.
So that's some free game for you right there too. Yo, Sean's inspiring us. You know what I mean? We're dropping gems too.
Do you use your platform now? Do you show what's going on with your platform now when you go to these listen appointments?
Like the podcast?
This is your social media presence, anything?
Oh,
like
yeah,
that?
100%.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I know you're what, like a year in, as far as like being on social media.
It's going to be a year this March.
Okay. So what is your ROI? Have you seen that return? I know we discussed this on my podcast, but
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's opened up a lot of doors.
Okay.
Like I said, I've been in the business since I was 16, but I've been putting a lot of work behind the scenes. And that's one thing I love too, because I wasn't on social media. I wasn't like, all right, I want to do this so I could get this many likes or this many views. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was mainly focusing on myself. I got to outshine myself and beat myself every year. I want to be making this amount of money. I want to be in this tax bracket. Yes, the IRS sucks, but this could help me, buy more real estate or whatever the case may be. So that's what I was doing it for. Now it's on social media. It's like everybody's winning.
Yeah.
Nobody's posting failures.
All the highlights,
Nobody's posting
no
anything else,
struggles.
yeah.
So now I mentioned this on your podcast too. When I popped up, everybody's like, yo, he just came out of nowhere and he's just doing all this business. But it's not like that. I was just behind the scenes and I was like, you know what? I got to make a social media because this guy peer pressured me. So
It worked.
good call.
return on investment, yeah, definitely. It's opened up a lot of doors, a lot of connections with the New York City family Sirhan over there.
Dope,
We got a couple things
dope.
coming up with them, but I'm sure it's opened up doors for you as well.
It's opened a lot of doors for me too. Yeah, I get it. Like I said, I get a lot of leads from it now. Social media wise, I get a lot of leads from it. Even like I know his family paid more attention to me now. You know what I mean? It's
Oh, look at Shawn over there, huh, Mr. Free Game?
yeah. We knew he was doing real estate for years, but now we know he's doing real estate. You know what I mean? Now I won't list my house with the freaking guy around the corner. I was doing Shawn. What about you as far as ROI?
I mean, honestly, for me, it's been like 2021. Like I have, made a good chunk of, money on my social media that I put a lot of time and effort into.
Dope.
So, I mean, I think that's something that I focus on now. Because before, what I used to do is I used to basically cold call realtors. Like that's how I met Kev.
You was
I
the
probably
coffee,
cold call
you was the
YouTube.
coffee guy? You was the let's
Yeah,
get a cup of coffee guy?
Basically. No, I wasn't the
Well,
coffee
I don't
guy.
drink coffee.
Actually, no, we did go to coffee. I don't even drink coffee. But
Me neither.
we
Those
did
are
go
the
to take it
most
down.
awkward, like
Yo, it's awkward,
This
but
is-
it worked because
Yeah?
sometimes it works. Like Kevin, like when we spoke about it, he didn't care that about whatever. Like he just liked the persistency. That's what
Yeah,
he
that's-
liked,
yeah.
and that's what I know that's something that he values. So to this day, I'm still gonna be doing that for him. You know what I mean?
That's
So it's
dope.
like
That's dope.
it's those kinds of things, and like for me, somebody starting off. Like just calling people all day. Like I don't have deals to work on. You know what I mean? Like I don't have anything to work on. So it's like that's something I'll do. You
See,
know?
the thing that got me past, even when I train people on like cold calling and stuff like that, it's like, if you call this person and they hang up on you, so what? You're never gonna see them again. You're probably not gonna meet them.
Yeah.
So what are you scared of? Think of it as a number. Yo, what's the price of the home? All right, $550. On a certain percentage, that's what, $10,000? That's a $10,000 lead you could be getting.
yeah.
So that's how you got to look at it. You call it, you get the appointment, great. Get in the door, I'll lock it in, take care of the rest. What do you got to lose?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
$10,000 richer.
Yeah.
In one call.
That's a good way of looking at it too.
Yeah.
Like because like it's not just a call. Like it's not. For me, I think about it as just like one relationship that I make with the realtor. It's different than calling a refi lead, right? Like because a refi lead, yeah, you can make like X amount of money, whatever. If I make a new relationship with a new realtor, that could be a deal every month or a
Yeah.
deal deal every quarter or whatever. Like it's not one deal.
Yeah.
Like it's endless amounts of
Yeah.
I made 2 cold calls that turned out to be my biggest investors. One guy from Queens, one guy from North Babylon.
Before you even get into that, can I got a little beef with Kev because there's not a lot of people. I look at social media content, right?
Yeah.
I never saw content that I was like, yo, damn, I wish I had came up with that. When this dude dropped that not HGTV.
yeah. That was my.
I gotta do a part
favorite
2.
Bro,
I gotta do part 2.
I don't think I slept for like 3 days. I was like, why the hell did not think of that?
You know what it is?
You know what I mean?
I love that. I love
like,
this.
My
I love it.
mind is always like, I'll be texting Mike with Mac like ideas, and Mike and off would just be like ping pong and bouncing back and forth, back and forth. I just have a lot of ideas. I never been on social media before, so my thing is like, yo, I need to do things like different from everybody else.
Of course, yeah.
To set myself apart, and yeah, just a bunch of different things.
That's dope. That's
You need
a
a
dope.
part 2 on
Yeah,
that.
you definitely need a
Yeah,
part
I'm
2.
gonna make a part 2.
Yeah.
Make a part 2.
You definitely need a part 2. I was
But-
pissed I ain't come on.
Nah, part 2 is gonna be doper than part 1.
Okay.
There's a lot of pressure because a lot of people were sharing it and like, yo, this is dope, this is fine.
Yeah, yeah. Because
But-
like you
but-
say, you don't hear those stories. Like a lot of
You
people don't give those.
No, you don't. But I'll do a part 2. But back to that, like 2 of my calls, one guy, I think I was on the phone for like 10 minutes. Chopped it up with him in person, 10 deals in off of 1 call.
That's what's up.
That's crazy.
That's crazy,
We're talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
return on investment. I made
Yeah.
a phone call.
Yeah. Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, if I
Wow.
had prepaid and I was running out of minutes, then it's different. But
Yeah. Wow.
literally 10 deals. I helped him buy and flip. He referred me to his friend. Then he's like, you know what? I like you. Sell my personal house. That's when I was like, damn, now I'm really on this guy's good side.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause selling somebody's personal home,
That's a big deal.
that's
yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah.
Sold the personal house, helped him buy another house. He moved into that house, really happy, and now we got another deal that's going to be closing next week.
There
So
go.
if you ain't got no money, expires for sale by owners.
Call 'em. What else do you have to
reach
lose?
out to friends and family because everybody knows somebody who's
Everybody
willing
knows
to
somebody.
buy or sell right now.
Yeah, and if I was the guy, I remember when I first got my license, I used to get tight because I would watch family members list with other people, and I'm like, damn, they ain't listen to me. And after a while, I'm like, you know what? You really never gave them the value to list with you. Like they weren't obligated to do it.
No, that's the key word though, value.
Yeah, what value are you giving them?
And that's why I like the Strictly Free Game podcast. So make sure you like, comment.
Comment and subscribe to our friend.
Appreciate it.
Yo, but
Last
back
gem you
to-
can hit us off with.
Wait. Before that, I want to say one thing. Before that,
Okay.
the reason why I got on social media was because of that same reason. Because somebody that I knew, I posted like a story about mortgage rates to my friends who were like 20, like young 20s, right? And then like basically somebody reached out to me and was just like, yo, I just refinanced, my parents just refinanced their house. I wish I talked to you about it. And I was like, bro, that sucks because like nobody knows what I'm doing. So like that's why I started on social media because I was like, if I don't tell everybody what I'm doing, that's not their fault. That's my fault
That's your fault.
because they don't even know. How are they going to know to reach out to me? I just want to throw that in because that's the reason why I started on it.
There you go.
Sorry, Kevin.
There you
What
go.
were saying?
Last gem from Shawn.
This guy's putting pressure on me today. I should have wrote these down.
You got to tell us what you want to leave us off with.
You shouldn't be a secret agent. I mean, that's the last one I could tell you. You shouldn't be a secret. We know too many people that's doing it, right? The world is literally right here. It's your fault if you're not in front of them.
Adapt or die. And this phone right here, you literally could.
Bro, it's 4K video at this point.
I know,
Like,
it's
what else
crazy.
what else do you really need? You don't, if you can't afford to, you can't, EPM Studio. These guys ain't cheap.
But they're the best.
Mike just cringed over there. What are you doing? Nah, I'm joking. But even if you can't afford it, man, set up your phone on like a tripod. Whatever you could do and just put yourself out there.
A gimbal.
Gimbal, yeah.
At Best Buy is $100.
Dude, I mean,
There you go.
people, I hate my voice. I hate the way I look. I mean, no one really cares at the end of the day. No one cares. And it's your business. If you're not putting yourself out there, if you're not going to promote yourself, who else is going to do it?
Yeah. You have to be your biggest fan.
You have to be. And you should be your biggest critic, too. Because if you're not putting your work in, you should be the biggest critic about it.
Work
100%
harder.
agree.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm going to be driving on my way home to, not my way home, back to the office. And then I'm just going to be thinking about everything Shawn said. I'm going to call you randomly and be like, yo, Shawn, you know what? That made me think of this. And then I'm going to be on the phone with you like an hour or so.
Bro,
Just be aware
this
of
is
that.
all of this is kind of therapeutic for me because, like I said, I had a few things that happened in life, and I used to always hold things in. The podcast kind of helped me. It's therapy for me.
Yeah.
So, and I told myself, listen, I'm leaving this to my girls so they can always tune into what Daddy had to think, and I'm leaving. When I leave this earth, I'm leaving on E, bro. I'm leaving past E. You know when your gas light is on, and you like, yo, I know my car. That's me.
Yo, that's amazing that you just said that. Yo, our videos that we put up, it's like literally like a video vault.
It's a
like
time
you don't
capsule.
even know. Yeah, it's a time capsule. You don't know what you were doing like when all right, I'm 23. What I was doing when I was 23 years old. Put back an episode up and just like you watch your life.
Yeah.
Like, and that's something that's amazing. I love that.
All right, 2022.
Yo, we have to have a follow-up episode with Shawn at the end of the year on here
Yo, these dudes
telling
are
us
putting
about his baby.
pressure
Yes?
on me.
That's
Yeah,
what we're going to do.
team-wise.
End of the year. We're going to recap
right.
with your team and everything. So, yo, we're holding you to it. We're holding you to it. End of the year, we're going to do it again.
All right, bet. Let's do it. I'm always up for the challenge.
Where can people reach out to you, man?
You can call me 718-840-8094. That's my cell. You can reach me at Shawn Your Realtor on Instagram. I think it's Shawn Waller on Facebook. Whatever you do, just call me, man. DM me. I'm always here.
You got to plug in the podcast. Come on.
Oh, yo, the pod. Damn, I got to pay the bills. The podcast, Strictly Free Game, spelled out the way it sounds, Strictly Free Game. Go on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the notification button. I have these guys coming up first week of February. I'm not sure when this one is airing. I'm not sure if it's before or after, but yeah, man. We in it. Oh, and this is the year of collabing. Like, we're supporting each other even more this year.
100%.
100% agree. All right. Thank you, Shawn. We appreciate it. That was the latest episode of the Real Estate and Chill podcast. I will see you next time. I love being here, man.
Thank you for tuning in to the Real Estate and Chill podcast with James Chaudhry and Kevin Iglesias. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share this with your friends, your enemies, your mother-in-law. No, seriously, this podcast is so fucking good. You might want to tell